Good morning, children.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
Children, we completed respiration in plants last class. So one of you tell me by which process respiration is taking place in plants. We mentioned about a process by means of which respiration is taking
Diffusion.
place in plants. Yes, very good. Diffusion. And through which openings these exchange of gases. The gases are being exchanged through certain special openings. What do you call it, Nirupama?
Stomata.
Stomata. Okay. And why do plant cells have spaces in between? Johan, why do plant cells have some spaces in between? Johan, Hadi Amin?
To ensure they
Ah,
are in
to ensure
contact,
that all plant cells are in
contact with the
contact with air. Very good. And we learned that during night and during daytime, different processes are taking place. Like during night time, what are the processes? Mainly, what are the processes taking place? Arjun, night time, what are the major processes taking place in plants?
Cellular respiration,
Why not photosynthesis?
because they breathe during that time. Photosynthesis happens in daylight and sunlight
Very
is
good. But respiration throughout the day, not only it is not limited to night or daytime. Always they are respiring. So nighttime, no light, no respiration. Only no light, no photosynthesis. Only respiration takes place and they release carbon dioxide. What about the daytime? Vishnu, what about daytime? What are the processes taking place during the daytime? Why to think
Ma'am,
so much?
carbon dioxide generated
You
during
don't read
respiration is
here. I didn't ask you to read it. I'm asking you the name of the two processes. During daytime, two major processes. It's not given.
oxygen is released.
Dear, oxygen is released. I understood by which process?
Photosynthesis.
No, photosynthesis. And what else is taking place? Which is the other process taking place? Throughout it is happening. What is that? Photosynthesis only during daytime. But the other process which I'm speaking about takes place the entire day and night, the whole day. What process I'm speaking about? Vishnupriya, about which process I'm speaking about?
Respiration.
Yes, respiration. So during daytime, both respiration and photosynthesis are taking place, and the carbon dioxide released by respiration will be used for photosynthesis, and oxygen released by photosynthesis will be used for respiration. And we started with respiration in animals, and I told you in animals different organs are there, some specialized organs are there for each type of animal to facilitate the exchange of gases, taking in of oxygen and giving out carbon dioxide. So let's learn more about the respiration taking place in animals. Animals have different organs for the exchange of gases, for taking in oxygen from the environment and for giving out carbon dioxide. So they are specialized, or they have specialized organs, as I told you. We have lungs, fishes have gills, insects have tracheal system, spiders have book lungs. So different organisms have different respiratory organs to help in the exchange of gases. Now we'll begin with aquatic animals. So when we say about aquatic animals, the animal that comes to our mind first is what? Fishes. So fish is an aquatic animal. You know that the respiratory organs in fishes are you don't know?
Gills.
Gills. So gills are the respiratory organs in fishes, and this gills will help them to utilize the oxygen dissolved in water. In the case of aquatic animals, they breathe in the oxygen which is dissolved in water. If we take our case, we are terrestrial. Terrestrial means living on land. So in those animals, we are taking oxygen from the atmospheric air. Whereas animals living in water, they depend on the oxygen which is dissolved in water. Point to be noted. Aquatic animals breathe in the oxygen which is dissolved in water, and in case of fish, gills are the respiratory organs. So they use the oxygen which is dissolved in water. And another point to be noted, it can be asked as a reasoning question. The breathing rate in a fish is faster than that in human being. Or in general, they can ask why the breathing rate in aquatic animals is faster than that in terrestrial animals. Okay. Oh, Hadi Amin, you want to wash your face? I just started. By the end of the class, I think you will sleep. Okay. It happens, no problem. Definitely you will get question. Okay, I'll repeat it again. Aquatic animals, they breathe in the oxygen dissolved in water. Terrestrial animals, animals living on land, take in the oxygen present in the atmospheric air. Is that point clear? Aquatic animals breathe in the oxygen that is dissolved in water, whereas terrestrial animals, they breathe in the oxygen which is present in the atmospheric air. Now, the amount of, listen very carefully, the amount of oxygen dissolved in water is less when compared to the amount of oxygen in the atmospheric air. Got the point? The oxygen dissolved in water is less, but there is more amount of oxygen in the atmospheric air. So when compared to aquatic animals, we are getting plenty of oxygen because atmospheric air has got more oxygen than that found in water. Hope you're getting the point. You want me to repeat it? Aquatic animals, they take in the oxygen which is dissolved in water. And the amount of oxygen dissolved in water is less compared to that present in atmospheric air. If you compare an aquatic animal and terrestrial animals have enough oxygen in the atmospheric air when compared to aquatic animals. Aquatic animals, less amount of dissolved oxygen. So what is the problem is they have to breathe faster. Their breathing rate will be faster. If you compare the breathing rate in a fish and a human being, you will find that the breathing rate in fishes, it will be more. Why they are breathing faster? Because if they need to get sufficient amount of oxygen, they have to breathe faster because less oxygen is there in the water. The dissolved oxygen present in water is less when compared to that present in atmospheric air. So only if they breathe faster, they'll get sufficient amount of oxygen. So it can be asked for 1 or 2 marks why the breathing rate in fishes is more, or it can be given as in a different way. A fish breathes faster than a human being. Give reason. Anyhow, it can be asked. So got the point? It's because fishes or aquatic animals are breathing in the oxygen dissolved in water, whereas terrestrial animals depend on oxygen present in the atmospheric air. And the amount of oxygen dissolved in water is less, and that in atmospheric air is more. So fishes have to breathe faster. Only then they will get enough amount of oxygen. The rate of breathing in aquatic animals is much faster than in terrestrial animals because the amount of oxygen dissolved in water is less. Very, very important. It is less when compared to that present in atmospheric air. And now let's see how the respiration is taking place or how the exchange of gases is taking place in fishes. Now fishes, as you can see in the picture, they will take in water through their mouth. So we have nostrils to take in air, but fishes are taking in air through their mouth. So through here, water enters, and then it will, from the mouth, it will move towards the gills. And gills are, gills are red in color. Some people, when they go to the fish market to check whether the fish is fresh, they will just lift the operculum. Operculum means they'll be covering the gills. There is a flap of skin. And not only flap of skin, it is a little bony. And when you lift it, you can see the gills. And if the gills are bright red, that indicate that the fish is fresh. But if it is, the red color is not bright, it's faded color, that means the fish is stale, or it is maybe 2 years. They have caught before 2 years or 1 week, depends. So some people, they check, they lift the operculum and see whether the gills are a bright red in color. If they are bright red in color, it indicates that the fish is fresh. You can definitely buy it. Okay. And why? Because gills are richly supplied with blood vessels. Gills are red in color because they are richly supplied with blood vessels. So fishes, they take in water through their mouth. From the mouth, it will reach the gills. And when the water reaches the gills, the dissolved oxygen present in water will be absorbed by the blood, and it will transport it to different parts of the body. Okay, same thing happens with carbon dioxide also. It will reach the gills, and from the gills it will be expelled out. Shall I repeat it again? In the case of fish, Muhammad Aman, in case of fish, water containing dissolved oxygen will be taken in through the mouth. From the mouth, it will reach the gills. And in the gills, the dissolved oxygen will be taken up by the blood, because gills are richly supplied with blood vessels. Any doubt? Any doubt? No. So when you don't say anything, I understand that you have followed it. Now moving on to the next slide, terrestrial animals. Terrestrial means living on land. Those animals which are found on land are known as living on land are known as terrestrial animals. Human beings, we are terrestrial animals. The respiratory organs in terrestrial animals, they have some common features. Let's see what are the common features found in terrestrial animals. They have a large surface area. The respiratory organs are provided with a large surface area so that they can take in enough amount of oxygen. Large surface area to absorb sufficient amount of oxygen. Point number 2, very fine and delicate surface. The respiratory organs are very fine and delicate, because if it is very thick, then the exchange of gases cannot take place easily. So their surface of the respiratory organs will be fine and delicate to promote the exchange of gases. And the last point, which is mentioned in your textbook, is they are usually placed within the body. In case of human beings, the lungs placed within the inside of a body to provide proper protection. I'll repeat the 3 points once again. Some common features found in the respiratory organs of terrestrial animals are: first point, they have a large surface area to absorb sufficient amount of oxygen. Point number 2, they have a fine and delicate surface. This will facilitate better exchange of gases. And third point, These are usually placed within the body to provide protection. Okay? Anjida, any doubt? Aditya Nair, Rifa, Muhammad Aman, Johan, Vishnu, Meghna, Haya, Pratish. Hope you understood why I'm calling out your names. Pratish, Emil, Bhadra. What is the reason why you are turning off the videos in between? Savio, Habibi, Pratish. Today also you have connectivity issues every day. Once in a while, show your face, child. I'll forget your face otherwise. Pratish, are you listening? Respond.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Uh, Always you don't give the same excuse. Try to rectify that because otherwise it is very difficult for you too, Pratish. There should be interaction with teachers, you know. So do something. At least within a week, try to do something so that we can interact. Savio. Savio. What happened today also? Today also connectivity issues. So do something. Okay. Speak to your parents. Try to rectify it so that there won't be any problem in proper interaction. Only if I can see your face, I can make out whether you can whether you have understood or not. Otherwise, I'll be completely blank. I don't know what you people are doing on the other side. Maybe you are listening attentively, taking down all the notes, but how do I know? Okay, children. So, any doubts in the points that we discussed now?
Ma'am, can you show the last slide?
Yes, Emil?
Can you show the last slide?
Yes, yes. The respiratory organs in terrestrial animals, they have some common features. A large surface area to get sufficient amount of oxygen, very fine and delicate surface to facilitate the exchange of gases, and they are usually placed within the body to protect it. Okay, Vishnu? Emil? Hope you're reading your textbook every day. Okay. Children, don't expect that the history will get repeated next year. So this year exams are cancelled. That doesn't mean that next year the same situation will be there. Okay. So please learn your daily lessons. Don't postpone today's work for tomorrow. I hope you have understood what we discussed so far. Prajot, tell me why the breathing rate in fishes is faster than that in human beings. You try, I'll help you.
Ma'am, because they use oxygen dissolved in water,
Is?
and that is low
Yes. When compared to that in
terrestrial orbits.
atmospheric air. When compared to atmospheric air, less amount of oxygen is present in less amount of oxygen. Dissolved oxygen is found where, Prajot?
Oxygen dissolved in water.
In water. So complete the sentence. So, sorry, complete the answer. So fishes have to
Breathe is water.
why you are in doubt? No confidence in answering. So they have to breathe faster. Okay. What are the common features found in the respiratory organs of terrestrial animals? Melvin, 1 point. 1 point. Three points we discussed. Features of respiratory organs in terrestrial animals. 1 point you can say.
Large surface area to get sufficient oxygen.
Okay, good. Large surface area for the exchange of gases. And Haynes, Steve, second point.
Surface to facilitate gases exchange.
Say.
Very fine and delicate surface to facilitate.
Yes, very good. Very fine and delicate surface for the exchange of gases. And the third point, Muhammad Aman. Muhammad Aman, where are you? He left. Aman, are you there? Yes.
No,
Yes. I
they,
saw you.
they are usually they are
Repeat.
protected inside. They protected inside the body.
Yes, good. They are kept within the body to provide protection. Okay. And Melvin, adjust your camera properly. I want to see your face. Surya is there? Surya. Okay. No light in the room today also. Okay. Anyway, let's continue. Now we are going to learn about respiration in human beings. Hadidi, next topic is respiration in human beings. You know that the respiratory organs in human beings are a pair of lungs. The major respiratory organs are a pair of lungs. Vishnu, Haya. Okay. You know that we have a pair of nostrils, two openings. And these are known as nostrils. Okay, your nose is provided with two openings. You call it as nostrils. And air will be entering through your nostrils. And you can find some hairs, minute hairs, not very minute, small hairs you can see within the cavity. Nostrils lead into a nasal chamber or nasal cavity. And this nasal cavity is provided with hair. What is the reason? Why hairs are present? And even some sticky secretion, mucus is being secreted inside your nose. Who can tell me why these hairs, minute hairs and
the dust.
small hairs are present and they will help in? Somebody was, they purify the air. They filter out the dust particles. So the mucus secretion present in your nose as well as the hair present will help in filtering out the dust particles present in the inhaled air. When you take in air, the inhaled air can contain impurities. So the hair as well as the mucus present in the nose will filter out the dust particles. From there, air passes through the pharynx. Pharynx is a common passage for both respiratory system and also digestive system. So from the mouth, air that we have taken in through, I told you, air is taken in through the nostrils. From there, it will passes through a cavity, nasal cavity or nasal chamber, which is provided with hairy lining. Hair is present and also mucus. And this will help in filtering out the dust particles. And from the nasal cavity, air will reach trachea through the pharynx. Pharynx is a passage which is common for both digestive system and respiratory system. What is the other name for trachea, children? You've learned about trachea. You're not learning the respiratory system for the first time. Yes?
Windpipe.
Yes, windpipe. Good. Windpipe. Just like esophagus has got another name, food pipe. Trachea is having another name, that is windpipe. So through the nostrils, air reaches the nasal cavity. From the nasal cavity, the air reaches the trachea through the pharynx. Now, in the picture, you can see some incomplete rings of cartilage. See here, you can find some ring-like structures are there, incomplete rings. The rings are not complete, but incomplete rings of cartilage you can find. Made out of cartilage. You know the difference between bone and cartilage? In 9th standard, you have learned trachea is supported by incomplete rings made of cartilage. We call it incomplete because it's not forming a complete ring, a complete circle. It is incomplete, and these are made of cartilage, and these incomplete rings of cartilage will support the trachea. How they support? Even in the absence of air, trachea will not collapse. Okay. Even when air is not there, it gives it, it will remain in its position. It won't collapse even in the absence of air. Once again, the air that we are taking in passes through the nostrils, reaches the nasal cavity. Nasal cavity is lined with hair and mucus, which will help in filtering out the dust particles. And from the nasal cavity, it will reach trachea, passing through the pharynx. And this trachea, we call it as windpipe 2, and it is supported by incomplete rings of cartilage. And these rings will protect or prevent the trachea from collapsing even in the absence of air. Trachea runs down the neck. See, as you can see in the figure, it runs down the neck and divides into two. We call it as bronchi. Singular is bronchus. A bronchus, two bronchi. Bronchus is singular. Okay. And these bronchi will lead into lungs, which are the major respiratory organs. I'll repeat once again, children. Listen carefully. The trachea runs down the neck, and you can see it is divided into two bronchi, and each bronchi is entering a lung. It leads into lungs. Clear? Nostrils, nasal cavity, pharynx, then trachea dividing into two bronchi, and finally it reaches the lungs, our major respiratory organs. Okay? Is it clear? So up to here, I just want to hear from you.
Ma'am, can you show the last slide?
Yes, yes, yes. From the nostrils, the air reaches the nasal cavity, which is lined with hair and mucus for filtering out the dust particles. And from the nasal cavity, the air will reach the trachea, passing through the pharynx. And the speciality of trachea is that it is supported by incomplete rings of cartilage to prevent it from collapsing in the absence of air. Even when there is no air, the trachea will not collapse because of the presence of these rings of cartilage. Trachea runs down the neck, and there it divides into two bronchi, and each bronchus will enter the lung. Okay, Lolita, I noticed you joined just now. It's okay. Okay, who is going to tell me the points that we covered? Surya, tell me about human respiratory system. Till where we have learned? The air we are breathing in.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me about the respiratory system in human beings. The air that we are taking in enters through your
Nostrils.
nostrils. From there, where it goes?
And then Then it goes through fine hair lining.
No, to where? You don't read it. Tell me to where it goes from the nostrils. What do you call that chamber?
Uh,
Nasal?
uh,
Nasal?
what did you say?
In between, I think your attention is getting diverted. I'll make you say, wait. Anjida, were you able to hear? Anjida, your connectivity was getting cut off in between. Okay, Rose?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Tell me. From the nostrils to where the air goes?
Nasal cavity.
Nasal cavity. Surya heard? To the nasal cavity. What is special about the nasal cavity, Surya? What are present inside the nasal cavity?
Nasal cavity, pharynx. Then from there, the air passes through
Surya,
pharynx into
don't read. You look at me and say, we know what is there inside our nose, no?
from
Hair and
from nasal cavity. The air passes through pharynx into trachea.
Arlen, listen. Inside the nasal cavity, what is there? What can you find inside the nasal cavity? You know what is there. We all have the same. What is there inside? Think. Wait. Yes, Surya? Think about your own nose, dear.
Mucus.
And only mucus.
Air passage.
I know it is air passage. You are reading, Surya. Your attention is getting diverted. Do you have hair inside the nose?
Yes.
Hair and mucus. John, what is the purpose of having mucus and this hair lining inside our nose?
To filter the air.
Yes, to filter out the dust particles. And from there, Adidev, where it reaches? From the nasal cavity.
From the nasal cavity, it goes to trachea.
Trachea through
Through
pharynx.
pharynx.
Through pharynx. Vishnupriya, what is next? It has reached trachea. What do you know about trachea?
It leads,
What do you know?
Trachea gets into two bronchi and leads to lungs.
No. What do you know about trachea? What
It
is
has
about the
incomplete rings that prevents it from collapsing in absence of it.
Listen, rings made out of
Cartilage.
cartilage. Why do they have these rings of cartilage? To prevent
From collapsing in the absence of it.
absence of air. Hadi Amin, what is next?
Connectivity and
Huh? Tell me.
and between my connectivity.
Bhadra. Read it. Find out what is it. Bhadra. Savio. Pratish. Adil. Adil, what is next? You want to leave the class means you want me to wind up the class means you should answer. Only then I can wind up. Arjun, what is next? Up to trachea we have said. Now what happens to this trachea?
Trachea runs down the neck and divides into two bronchi, which leads to lungs.
My dear children, I will love to hear what you are saying by recollecting, not reading. Why I'm asking questions, whether you know to check whether you know reading? Tell me. I want to know how much you've understood, how much you're recollecting from the memory and saying. Okay, at least here afterwards, I don't want you to read it. Okay, reading after the class. I'm not really telling about Arjun. So after the class, you may read. I'm happy, you should read. But when question is asked, you recollect. Collect from what you have learned, what you have heard. You heard me speaking now throughout. My voice is also audible. So try to recollect it and say. Even if you make mistakes, I'm happy with that. I'll correct it. But don't read. I get disappointed when you just read it and say. Nirupama, can you repeat what Arjun said?
Trachea runs through the neck and divides into two bronchi, which leads to
Ah.
lungs.
Bronchus will lead into a lung. How many lungs we have? Emil, how many lungs we have? He's looking what he is showing. Yes, Emil, now that also you have to think, Emil. Adi, I saw. Emil,
Yes,
my, how many lungs do you have? Do we have? My God.
Two.
3, no?
Huh?
3 lungs.
Two.
Sure?
I think so.
Are you sure it is 3 or 2? Fix and tell me fast.
Two.
Okay, thank you, children. We have a pair of lungs. We learn about lungs next class. Thank you.